As Buddha said in He Path of Life, inner peace is the first step toward the true happiness. Welcome. Today, we will explore a fundamental principle of the wisdom Buddhist. First, your inner peace, after everything others in the Buddhist teachings are given to us. Remember that without peace in our heart, our actions and decisions are influenced by chaos and confusion. In this video, we will share practices and teachings ancestral that will help you find and keep that inner peace, allowing you to face the world with serenity and clarity. Come with me on this journey towards peace interior, because only when we are in harmony with us, we ourselves can really blossom in all areas of our life. Dalai Lama states that the happiness is not something given, it comes from your own actions today. I want to share with you a special story that will guide us towards inner peace and happiness lasting. Let's start in a beautiful Tibetan monastery located in top of the majestic mountains of the Himalayas. Surrounded by green mountains and colorful flowers, lived a revered one master. Eastwise Buddhist master has felt a deep curiosity about life and was known throughout the valley for his profound wisdom and his ability to guide others toward inner peace and the happiness. Durable life in He monastery was simple but full of wisdom. A young called Tenshin with he heart open, and the curious spirit was willing to learn and apply in his life the principles that his teacher taught him. One of the first beginning, what Tenshin learned was the power of socialized Tenshin. Every day joined the others monks in activities, community sharing laughter stories, and moments of reflection. Learned that the connection with the others enriched his soul and him offered a sense of belonging and support. Also learned to listen with attention and compassion. Every time someone you spoke already out a buddy monk or a visitor to the town, he lent mindfulness without judge. Neither interrupt this listening practice active. You allowed grasp improvement the others and forge more connections. Deep and significant listening with he heart, it was a powerful way to show love and respect and finding joy in he simple act of being present. For the everything else soon became clear. Realized that the true happiness was not found in possessions, materials, neither in achievements, great fates. In the little one's acts of daily life, discovered that the happiness was like a seed that had to be constantly nourished with gestures. Simple and genuine, these small acts, although apparently insignificant, had the power of transform your life and the lives of those around you. It surrounded each morning. Tenshin began his with a smile. I knew that a smile, although small, had an impact powerful when smiling at the others, monks, and to the people of the town nearby, created an atmosphere of warmth and kindness. That simple action not only cheered his heart, but also was contagious joy to the besides. A smile understood was a bridge that connected hearts and sowed happiness to your around. Tenshin also absorbed the second principle. The joy of thinking about the others always was attentive to the needs of their colleagues and people of the town nearby, helped whoever it will need already, be it with a word, kind, an action, disinterested, or simply listening with attention. His teacher told him that when one focuses on the well-being of the others, finds one more purpose, great and deep satisfaction. Tenshin was given, realized that the compassion and the empathy were key to a life happy. Third principle, to dedicate time to the hello good actions. Tenshin, all the days he committed to doing at least one good action without expecting anything in return, already went to help a old man to cross he way, to plant trees in he garden of the monastery, or teach the children of the people to read and write. These actions filled his heart of joy, and they remembered that through Pekwago's gestures could make a big difference in another world. practice that Tenshin adopted was that of share, now out a piece of bread, word of encouragement, or your time. Tenshin found happiness in he act of share their resources and knowledge with the others. You remembered that the abundance true, it was not measured by what he possessed, but by what was willing to offer, by giving without expecting anything in return. Tenshin was experiencing a deep satisfaction and a connection more intense with the community room beginning to thank you that one has. Tenshin converted the gratitude in a practice daily, every morning upon waking and every night before from sleeping. It took a few minutes to reflect on the blessings in his life, was grateful for the nature that it surrounded by the cheers to love and health support of his colleagues and by the lessons that each learned day. This gratitude practice you helped to stay focused on the positive, already value each moment. Every night before sleeping. Tenshin, it took a few minutes to reflect on your day and be thankful for the small blessings. I was grateful for the food that had enjoyed, for the conversations significant, and by the beauty of the nature that it surrounded. This habit of gratitude you help to maintain perspective, positive, and value the wonders, everyday things that often happened unnoticed. The gratitude understood it was a key that opened the door to a full and happy life. Dear friends, I invite you to stay with we until the end of this video, where we will share a exercise simple but powerful for find inner peace. This moment of tranquility and connection will allow them experience a deep calm and serenity. I don't know it lose will be a experience transformer. Join us until the end and discover he path toward your peace interior. Fifth principle: maintain healthy habits, exercise, and I dream every day. I practiced yoga, enjoying the movement and the connection with his body. Besides, assured, have a restful sleep following a routine. Rest that you allowed to wake up, renovated, and full of energy. These habits not only improved his physical health, but also contributed to their mental well-being and emotional. Tenshin learned the sixth principle: be aware of the here and the now. Through the meditation and the mindfulness developed the ability to live the present with full attention and without judgment, learned to enjoy every moment, to observe your thoughts and emotions without to let oneself be carried away by they already find peace in his simple act of being. This full awareness allowed appreciate the beauty and the serenity in his daily life at this moment. While if you hear these words, I invite you to stay in the stillness of the moment present. Together we will experience the transformative power of awareness full and the radical acceptance, discovering so the fountain inexhaustible of inner peace and happiness lasting that resides in our deepest being. Seventh principle: he path toward peace inside. A day his wise teacher said with a smile, inner peace is not finds in he bustle of the world outside, but in the silence of your own heart. Tenshin, with enthusiasm and determination, began to meditate daily, learning to listen, the soft whisper, his own eighth soul, beginning the magic of meditation. Tenshin discovered that the meditation was like a magical journey toward its interior. When sitting in silence and observe your breathing, began to notice how his thoughts and emotions came and went like the surf from the sea. His teacher taught that no, I had to hold on to those thoughts, but leave them pass like clouds in he darling blue. With he time, Tenshin began to feel a deep joy and a tranquility that had never existed before, experienced before, understood that the inner peace did not depend on the external circumstances, but of their own attitude and perspective. With each passing day, Tenshin felt happier and at peace, began to share his experiences with the others, monks, and with the people of the town nearby them, talked about how the meditation you there was helped to discover the beauty at every moment and the importance of living the present with gratitude. Tension was given realize that the true happiness was not a destination distant, but a state of being that could cultivate in every 10th instant. Principle, the joy of share a day. While I was walking by the forest, Tension found a old man, sad and worried old man. You told their sorrows and worries. Tension, with a warm smile, invited to meditate together. As the old man closed the eyes and breathed deeply, began to feel a peace that he had not had since in years. When opening the eyes, he, old man, had tears of joy and gratitude. Thank you, Tension said, you have brought light to my life. Tension, with humility and joy, he answered, peace and happiness are inside you, just need take you a moment for find them with he time. Tension is converted in a beacon of light and joy for all who surrounded, shared his teachings with humility and enthusiasm, remembering everyone that the true happiness is found in the simple behaviors and in the connection with oneself and with the thus. Tension not only found peace interior and the happiness lasting, but that also inspired others to follow his lead path. Another chance, in one afternoon calm, while the good heavens golden of the sun filtered through, in he monastery too, through the clouds, and painted he landscape with warm tones, a group of disciples gathered around of the venerated master to receive his teachings, sitting in a circle to the outdoors with the scent of incense floating in the air. The monk began to share a story that had been transmitted from generation to generation in his lineage monastic. Once upon a time, in an ancient kingdom, a young prince named Arjun, whose heart was full of desires and expectations, raised in the opulence of the royal palace. The young had been taught to judge everything he encountered in his life in 3 categories: I like, I'm indifferent, and I don't. Me likes. Guided by these trials, superficial, found pleasure in the things that they seemed pleasant. I was unaware those that he considered insignificant, and rejected vehemently those that you disliked. However, as Guru was given, realized that this form, seeing the world, brought him more suffering than happiness. One day, in his search for meaning and inner peace, decided, leave the comfort of palace and undertake a journey in search of the true. 4 years toured land distant, encountering masters and wise men that had guided in his path toward the lightning. After years of searching, arrived at the foot of a mountain sagrada, where he met a venerable lama with humility and devotion. Arjun say, converted in his disciple, desperately wanting free yourself from the poisons of attachment, ignorance, and the hatred. Under the tutelage of the Lama, the young man learned to observe his thoughts and emotions without let carry by. They learned to cultivate compassion and the equanimity towards all beings, sentience, recognizing that attachment, ignorance, and the hate were just illusions that moved away from the true happiness. As Arjun was moving forward in his spiritual experience, a profound transformation in his heart and mind, became more compassionate, more tolerant, and more full of joy, finding the true happiness in the unconditional acceptance of life as it is. And so, Arjun say, converted in a beacon of light and compassion for all those who surrounded by the 3 poisons. And in his wisdom and compassion, the young man found the true freedom and the bliss durable. The disciples listened with attention every word of his teacher, feeling how their hearts were filled with inspiration and hope. And at that moment, they understood that the true happiness did not reside in the external circumstances or in the trials, superficial, but in the ability to cultivate a clear mind, compassionate, and free from the poisons of attachment to it, ignorance, and the hate. And so lo, the loving guidance of the Master continued your journey towards the lightning, knowing that in he path of The understanding and the acceptance was based the true happiness other day. While the sun is set over the horizon, and bathed he monastery in golden tones, a traveler western, called Emily, arrived at doors of the Amelie. In search of guidance, Emily, a young woman, businesswoman, with a life marked by the stress and the anxiety there was, arrived at a spot in the one who felt lost and desperate to find more meaning deep in his existence. Driven by a longing for inner peace and happiness, genuine Emily, he approached the monk and asked that shared with she the teachings that had transformed the lives of their disciples. The wise teacher, with a smile compassionate, invited Emily to sit next to him and began to tell him the story of Arjun, the young prince in search of the true. But this time, the monk added a Western perspective so that Emily could socialize more easily with the Emily teachings too. Just like Arjun has been conditioned by society Westerner to judge your world in terms of like, I am indifferent and I don't like, commented the Lama. These trials, superficial ones, lead us to constantly seek the gratification, external, either in success, professional, material wealth, or relationships. Romantic, however, as Arjun discovered the true happiness, no resides in the pursuit of pleasures external, but in the cultivation of the inner peace and compassion towards one's same and towards the others. In West, have examples of people who have reached this realization. Spiritual, the master began to share stories of figures, Westerners who had found the enlightenment through practices spiritual and a change of eye, expose you to a perspective. Some of its teachings. The enlightenment is a state of awareness in the one that we not only give ourselves account of our true nature, but also that we live and that we express in all our happiness does not depend on what you have or what you are, but of your perception of what you have and what you are. Then there is Nathan, a Buddhist monk, Vietnamese, who has dedicated his life to promote peace and compassion in the world through the mindfulness and practice of love kind. The lighting is always in here and now. You can't enlighten you tomorrow. The true happiness is possible only in the present. The lighting is not a goal to be achieved, but a state of always be present in every moment. That the happiness is a quality from the mind that arises naturally when we are in harmony with the moment present. That you do not have to control your thoughts, only you have to stop, allow them to control you. That the meditation is not something that you do, is a place you go. These are only some examples of how the teachings and the wisdom spiritual can be applied in Western context to achieve the true happiness. More's the meditation, mindfulness, the gratitude daily, or simply cultivate an attitude of compassion and acceptance toward us, themselves, and towards the others. We can all find a path toward peace, interior, and the happiness. Long-lasting Emily, I listened with pay attention to every word of the teacher, feeling a spark of hope light in his heart. Understood that the true happiness no depended on the external circumstances, but in the way he chose, perceive, and respond to your experience. Decided stay in monastery, dedicating time each day to practice the meditation and the mindfulness under the loving guide of the wise teacher. With time, Emily experienced a profound transformation in your way of being and relating with the world, found the inner peace that so much longed for, and discovered that true happiness resided in the acceptance, unconditional acceptance of life as it is, freeing itself from the judgments and attachments that had kept prisoner during so long. And so, just like Arjun and so many other seekers of the truth, too, along the story, Emily found his path toward the lighting and the happiness lasting, always remembering the teachings of the teacher, who true freedom and the supreme bliss resident in the understanding and the unconditional acceptance of life as such as is in the vast ocean of the existence. Each one of us is like a navigator in search of land unknown, longing to find the safe harbor of the true happiness and peace interior. In our journey takes us, we found teachings, lasting and wise men, guides that offer us the compass to navigate through the waters of the life. Dear friends and friends, for finalize them, I will guide you through a exercise, simple but powerful, for find peace interior. This exercise is designed to help them connect with your being interior, to calm the mind and find a refuge of tranquility. In half of the hustle diary, we are going to start past a find a quiet place. Look for a place where you feel comfortable and that you don't interrupt it. Can be in your room, in he garden, or any space where you can be in silence. Sit down in a comfortable position with back straight and hands resting on your legs. Past two closes the eyes and breathe deeply and take a breath. Deep inhale through the nose, feeling like the air fills your lungs and your abdomen expands. Then exhale slowly through the mouth, releasing any tension that you feel. Repeat this deep breathing 3 times. Past 3, concentrate in your breathing now. Let it breathe, flow naturally. Concentrate in the sensation, the air entering and leaving your graves nasal. Observe the rhythm of your breathing without trying to control it. If your mind wanders with thoughts, simply recognize it and gently return your attention to your breathing. Past 4, scan your body. Beam a mental scan of your body, starting with the crown and down slowly to the toes. Observe any areas of tension or discomfort, and as you exhale, imagine that you are releasing that strain. Consciously relax each part of your body while you keep breathing. Manner calm. Step 5. Visualize a place of peace. Imagine a place where you feel completely at peace and happy. Can be a garden, one beach, a mountain, or any another place that gives you tranquility. Visualize this place with all of their details, the colors, the sounds, smells, and the sensations. Allow yourself to feel calm and the serenity of being in this place. Step 6. Repeats a statement of peace mentally. Repeats an affirmation that inspires you. Tranquility. It can be something, how am I in peace? Calm envelops me, or meeting serenity in each moment. Repeats this affirmation with each inhalation and exhalation, feeling as takes root in you. Step 7. Remains in silence. After a few minutes, stop, repeat the affirmation, and simply remains in silence. Enjoy this moment of stillness, feeling how inner peace fill every corner of your. Allow yourself to be present without rush, neither expectations. Step 8. Gradually returns. When you feel ready, start moving gently the fingers of the hands and the feet. Slowly open the eyes, maintaining that feeling of peace interior. Tomato. A moment to appreciate how you feel before continuing with you. Day. Definitely, inner peace is a treasure that we can all find within us themselves. Practice this exercise will regularly help you grow a refuge of tranquility in your life daily. Remember that inner peace is not a destination, but a continuous journey, that it thrives on small moments of stillness and reflection. 10. Always present that the happiness lasting is not a temporary state, neither a distant goal, but a choice daily that is nourished by the gratitude and love for life. Is find joy in the moments, simple, in the scent of a flower, in the shared laughter with a family member or friend, and in the peace of a quiet afternoon. The true happiness arises from appreciating the small blessings of living with a heart grateful, and maintain an attitude positive against the challenges in cultivating habits of kindness, compassion, and gratitude. we built a life full of meaning and satisfaction. So we discovered that the happiness lasting is within reach, our hand present, in Kader, and in every gesture of NB, part of a community dedicated to explore the depths of the soul and find the true happiness in each moment present. Until next